Good evening. Welcome to the Blackstone-Millville Regional District School Committee meeting for Wednesday, April 12th. I am fortunate enough to chair and open the meeting when we go into reorganization of officers. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Have everyone stand, please, for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If we could still please remain standing for a moment of silence. We recently lost a longtime valuable member of our educational community, Mrs. Janice Whitmore. Thank you. I wanted to welcome 3 new members, Mrs. Karen Vernon, Mrs. Tammy Lemieux, and Mr. Jack Keefe. Welcome, and thank you for taking on this role. Today we are reorganizing the committee. Across the state, the superintendent opens the meeting, and under Mass General Law, Section 30A, Chapter 30A, Section 22B, we will reorganize the committee. I will open the floor for nominations for chair. Once the chair is duly elected, he or she will then open the floor for vice chairperson, for district secretary, for district treasurer, and then to appoint Mrs. Cobb as assistant district treasurer and to appoint Long and DiPietro as district counsel. So I would entertain nominations for the appointment to the office of chairperson of the Blackstone-Millville Regional School District School Committee for the 2017-2018 year. Mrs. Vanaco?
I would like to nominate Jane Reggio for chair.
Second.
It has been motioned by Mrs. Vanaco, seconded by Mrs. Greenstein. Jane Reggio. Is there any other nominations? Any discussion? Hereby move nominations closed. All those in favor of Jane Reggio as chair, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? None abstained? It is unanimous. Congratulations, Mrs. Reggio. I will gladly turn over the gavel to you.
Thank you, everybody, for your support, and I look forward to serving the committee in this upcoming year. And at this point, I will entertain nominations for vice chairperson. Georgette.
I make a motion to nominate Erin as vice chair. Did I
Second?
say that right?
Second. Oh, yes, you did. Okay. Are there any other nominations? Okay, the motion was made by Georgette, seconded by Tara, for Erin Vanaco as vice chairman. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
All opposed.
All opposed? All right, Erin, come join.
Thank you.
Congratulations. It's an exciting team. Okay. Erin gets settled. Entertain nominations for the district secretary for the 2017-18 year. Karen?
I make a motion to nominate Tara Larkin for district secretary.
Okay.
Second.
Wendy, was that you?
Yes.
Okay. Any other nominations? Okay. Motion was made by Karen Vernon and seconded by Wendy Greenstein to appoint Tara Larkin as the district secretary of the Blackstone-Millville Regional School District for the 2017-18 year. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Congratulations, Tara.
Thank you.
I will entertain nominations for the district treasurer position for the 2017-18 year.
I'd like to nominate Karen Vernon.
there a second?
Second.
By a lot of people, okay. A motion was made by Aaron Vanaco and seconded by, I heard Georgette Garrett first, to appoint Karen Vernon as District Treasurer of the Blackstone Millville Regional School Committee for the 2017-18 year. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Any opposed? Then congratulations to Karen. Can I entertain a motion to name Wen Cobb as the Assistant District Treasurer? The reason, Blackstone Millville for the 2017-18 year.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
A motion was made by Aaron and seconded by Jack to appoint Mrs. Wen Cobb as Assistant District Treasurer of Blackstone Millville Regional School District for the 2017-18 year. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Congratulations, Wen. And I'll entertain a motion to name Long and DiPietro as our district council. So moved. Second?
Second.
Motion was made by Tara and seconded by Wendy to appoint Long and DiPietro as the district council of the Blackstone Millville Regional School District for the 2017-18 year. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we will inform them that we're continuing with their services, which is great. Okay. Report of the student representatives.
Yeah, now it's only me, because Jack is now elected, left me. So it's been a quiet past few weeks. It's been 3 weeks, I believe, since we last met, since tomorrow begins vacation. Tomorrow is also prom at Lake Pearl in Rentham. The senior class officers have planned it. Tickets were $70, which were sold a few weeks ago. They did tables the past week and a half or so everyone got to choose where they could sit. It's very exciting. Everyone's pretty excited about it. Sports, I was having a hard time finding updates because it's been so rainy. So varsity baseball, I have 2-1, and I have varsity softball as 1-1. So that's all we have so far. And lastly, seniors have 20 days left. They're very excited, and it's nice enough outside for everyone to eat outside for the seniors, so they're happy about that. That's all we have today.
Questions?
Do you know how many tickets were sold for prom?
192.
Wow. I certainly hope that everybody will be safe and have a wonderful time.
They did have a pledge, so everyone could stay safe.
Oh, they did?
Yes,
Great.
they did.
Great.
It said, I promise, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That was very good.
Okay. Great. Great.
Thank you.
Okay. Before the public forum, I would like to go around and have an introduction of members. I know Mr. Himmelberger welcomed the new people, but usually we start the meeting by introducing ourselves and the town that we represent.
Wendy Greenstein, Blackstone.
Sarah Larkin, Millville.
Karen Vernon, Millville.
Aaron Vanaco, Millville.
Jane Reggio, Millville.
Georgette Jarrett, Blackstone.
Jack Keefe, Blackstone.
Tammy Lemmy, Blackstone.
Wen Cobb, Business Manager.
Dave Thompson, Assistant Superintendent.
Alan Himmelberger, Superintendent.
Okay. Now, public forum. Anybody want to say anything? We're good? Okay. For those that are new, consent agenda A, you received in your packets the warrants, the field trip requests, and the minutes of the meeting from March 23rd. We probably want to separate out the minutes only because some people weren't here. But usually we can do those all in a kind of a move consent agenda A. So if I could entertain a motion to approve the warrants and the field trip requests?
So moved.
Jack, okay.
Second.
Wendy, okay. It was moved, any discussion? Okay. It's moved by Jack and seconded by Wendy to approve the warrants and field trip requests in consent agenda A. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Now I'll entertain a motion for the minutes of the March 23rd meeting.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
We're here.
So I think you have to abstain.
Yeah. Okay. Moved by Aaron and seconded by Wendy to approve the minutes of the March 23rd meeting. Those that were here can can vote yes or nay. Those that weren't should abstain. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed? Any abstentions?
Abstain.
3.
So it's
3. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. You want to do this one?
Sure.
Okay.
The first item under the school committee's agenda is the discussion to amend the certification of the FY18 budget. I included in your packets the error that I did and checked and subsequently found last week as we were getting the budget books ready to print. So the resulting change was really for 2 motions to be adjusted on the town's contributions. And the new motion would read, move to assess the amount of $8,451,407 to the town of Blackstone to be applied to the operating budget for the 17-18 year, which includes $6,236,685 for the minimum contribution, $1,354,347 in exclusionary costs, and $860,375 in supplemental investments.
Good.
Do we have to say all these?
We just have to do the 2.
To amend.
So we just have to do the one that Alan just read and then the one below it. So would somebody like to make the motion for the town of Blackstone's assessment that was just read, as read?
I'll do it.
Okay? Is there-
Move to assess the amount of $8,451,407 to the town of Blackstone to be applied to the operating budget for the 2017-2018 year, which includes $6,236,685 for the minimum contribution, $1,354,347 in exclusionary costs, and $860,375 in supplemental investments.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved by Wendy, seconded by Aaron. All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Let me read the second one.
You want to do it? Okay.
Sure. Move to assess the amount of $2,854,303 to the town of Millville to be applied to the operating budget for the 2017-2018 year, which includes $2,025,989 for the minimum contribution, $506,531 for the exclusionary costs, and $321,783 in supplemental investments.
Is there a second? Second. That's moved by Wendy and seconded by Tara to assess the amount of $2,854,303 to the town of Millville to be applied to the operating budget for the 2017-18 year, which includes $2,025,989 for the minimum contribution, $506,531 in exclusionary costs, and $321,783 in supplemental investments. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So that will be recertified or amended, amended certification and sent out to all the member towns.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Next, we had the first reading on the food service accounts policy at the last meeting, and it was the wish of the committee to wait until this meeting to take further action. So would simply ask if the committee wishes to vote this as policy.
Discussion.
I just want to point out, actually, Bill, hopefully Bill's watching, it's becoming a state law in many states. I saw it actually on the Today Show earlier this week, that some states are taking it and making a law that, kids have to get
food,
lunch.
yeah.
So I think Massachusetts should consider calling it Bill's law. But we'll get there.
There you go. But for those of you who are new to the committee, this was a policy that the committee felt strongly that students, even though they might have balances on their food service account, should still be fed at lunchtime at a meal equivalent, that everybody else has the option of getting to, not just a cold sandwich or.
Okay, so that was a question I had was, I know a cheese sandwich was the common alternative if you owed too much money, so that's out of the window now.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
Correct. Any other discussion? I would entertain a motion to approve the policy as written.
So moved.
Jack, is there a second?
Second.
By Aaron. Move the Blackstone Millville Regional School District Student Food Services Policy. Motion by, as read by Jack and seconded by Aaron. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
Report of the superintendent.
First on the agenda is a vote to approve the student activities account from the high school student activities account. This is in accordance with Mass General Laws, Chapter 71, Section 47, and hereby request a reimbursement to be issued from the student activity agency account to the student activities checking account in the amount of $31,682.47. In making this request, I hereby certify the student receipts equal or exceed this reimbursement and have been collected for these purposes and are already deposited in the student activity agency account. And the receipts totaling the amount of the reimbursement request are attached. So I pass that to the committee. But the motion would be to approve $31,682.47.
$82.47. Would anybody like to make that motion?
So moved.
Okay, Tara, second?
Second.
Seconded by Jack. Motion made to move $31,682.47 from the student activity agency account to the student activities checking account. Is there any other discussion?
This is like their class, like fundraisers, prom tickets type
Yes.
stuff? Okay.
Yep.
Just to clarify, make sure people,
Yep.
not like user fees.
No.
No,
Sports.
this is
No.
all from,
This is all from-
Class.
related to the student activities.
We don't have to
Yep.
sign
Yep.
it. so-
Yes, and we all have to sign it. So
Okay.
are there any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, so moved. And this will come around and you'll need to sign it. When? Oh, wrong one. This one.
Thank you very much. Next on the agenda, you have received in your packet a copy of the third quarter financials, and this is the operating revenues and expenditures through March 31st of this year. And as you can see, well, I'll actually let Mrs. Cobb do the commentary, but we are in the midst of a tight year. That's all I can say.
Yeah, hey.
And certainly if you have questions, I'm sure Wen would be happy to answer.
Okay, Wen?
Thank you, Mr. Himmelberger. First, congratulations, Mrs. Reggio and Mrs. Monaco and everybody elected.
Thank you.
I'm here to give a quick update of the financial status at the end of quarter 3. I'll start with the revenue report, which is the one-page report. One thing I want to point out is under state revenue sources, middle of the page, intergovernmental receivable school choice is projected to be 34,000 over the original assessment by the state. That's not because we have students transfer out of the district. It's because the state makes readjustment during the year in December, March, and June. So that's just the amount. And luckily from the other revenue sources, we anticipated to have more receipts. So on the bottom line, we have a small amount to the good. So that's a good thing. And Medicaid reimbursement is hard to anticipate, but at the end of the year, any balance remain in that account will be close to E&D.
Okay.
Move forward to the expenditure report. On page 2, as we can see, the balance is $43,990. We anticipate that the budget wasn't going to be strong enough to support all our needs, but the good news is we already passed the April 1st line of special education tuition for moving students, and the utilities will be more stable. So with limited spending, we are working hard and hope to finish the school year at the budget. Any questions?
I would like to hear that we're more than hoping right now. I know, I mean, I've asked every quarter that you've come in where you think we're going to end up, but I think this is close enough. It's past April 1st.
Yep.
And with your best, you know, knowledge and information of what we have coming in and out, are we going to be in the negative? Or is that $43,000 going to sustain us until June 30th?
Well, it depends. The unencumbered expenditure will mostly be building maintenance, emergency. We need to make everybody safe and healthy.
Have we had any in the past quarter?
In the past quarter?
Yes.
Yes. Every custodian has a long list, long to-do list. We just prioritize the fix, what to fix up.
And are we looking at it as in the nature of, are we fixing it before June 30th, or are we waiting until after July 1st?
Yeah, it
with our
depends
$43,000?
Yeah, it depends what, how urgent the problem is.
Well,
But as we getting close to the end of the year, we will have more encumbrance being released. So
Right.
it's hard to say at this point, but we hope to see some balance.
Right.
Because next year we will have very tight budget, even harder budget to work with.
But we need to be clear that the 43,990 is not all we have left to get to the end of the year. We have encumbered money as well.
The encumbered
That's-
money is dedicated to
To a
line
particular thing,
item.
right.
So is there
But-
unencumbered money for emergencies?
Yes,
For building maintenance,
yes.
there's unencumbered money. So if there was a building maintenance or emergency, it would not be the
We have.
43,000 we're spending.
Yes. Yes.
There's encumbered.
And early retirement incentive, something like that, we cannot anticipate at this point.
So that's under the remaining balance.
Yes, that's correct. That's under the 43,000.
So with your best, with our interests in mind in this school districts, where do you see us on June 30th?
We're gonna work on to, because we definitely didn't say yes to all the requests of spendings in the past years, because we know we have a tight budget. If we have any money left, we're gonna use that balance to fill those needs. So we're working on finishing the year at the budget.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Okay. Next on the agenda is the update on the Mass School Building Authority. To Mrs. Cobb's point, 4 of our 5 buildings are in desperate need of renovation, and all 3 elementary schools have been submitted to the MSBA for accelerated repair projects. Under the accelerated repair projects, the School Building Authority could approve none, 1, or all 3. So they have received 73 total projects by their deadline in February, of which 3 were ours. So they have already come out a couple of weeks ago to look at every one of the ARP projects and saw with their eyes the conditions of the building. So we will wait until the middle of the year to see if we are invited for further review. The high school was submitted under a core renovation project, and that visit will probably take place sometime in May. That's a substantially more involved project, but one that is as desperately needed because of the age of the building and the fact that much of the building systems are original to 1969. And so, as they say, they have outlived their useful life. And so we are going to have to address all of those, and we will keep the committee apprised as we go through the year. The next steps would be to be invited into a shorter list of projects for consideration, and then to wait for the awards of the projects. Part of that is dependent on the competition, if you will. If there are buildings submitted that are deemed to be in more urgent need than ours, then obviously they may take precedent. I believe that our buildings stand on their own merit of need, and so we will wait and see. After that, then, if the projects are moved forward for funding by the MSBA, and again, that depends partly on their revenue, which is a penny on the sales tax dedicated to in support of school renovations. If we do make it into the final round and are ultimately approved, then the projects would go before the towns in the spring of 2018 for approval of the full value of the project, and then ultimately to be funded, with the work commencing hopefully summer of 2018. And then that work would take place certainly over the summer and into the fall for the ARP projects, and then probably summer of 19 as well, if the high school was included. Those projects would probably be bonded in 2020 or 2021, and we know that the sewer project comes off our capital list next summer, 2018, and the middle school project is paid off in 2024. So hopefully that smooths out the challenges for the towns. So we look forward to hearing the next steps from MSBA for all 4 schools, and that will be sometime during the summer. Finally, my report, just wanted to update the FY18 budget. I met Friday with the town administrator, Mrs. Callahan from Millville, and we had a lengthy discussion about how we move forward. I want to thank her for her diligence and her time. She is doing yeoman's work, trying to move the town of Millville forward, and so we look forward to the next steps. I have had conversations as well with her counterpart, Mr. Keys in Blackstone, and was invited to the Blackstone Finance Committee meeting this past Monday, and I believe both towns have a thorough understanding of where we are, both the complexities but also the need for a budget that the committee worked long and hard on. $22,576,232. That's a big number, but it was also less than the number the school committee certified a year ago. That budget, as Mrs. Cobb just mentioned, was not enough for us to meet the obligations to run this district this year. And she has done a masterful job at balancing those books every single week. 2.5% increase is what that 22,576,232 represents. But our budget for the last 8 years has only grown at 0.6% per year on average. We are at our limit. The school committee over the past 4 years has contributed from E&D, which is our stabilization fund, $1,550,000 over the past 4 years. The towns have contributed in additional contribution $1,528,000. So this school committee has done more than their share to offset the needs from the towns, but we are at the end. We do not have any additional pockets of funds anywhere. Our E&D, our excess and deficiency account is now 1.8% of the total budget. We are allowed 5% by law. We have used that liberally because the committee felt it was the right thing to do to afford a budget that can meet the needs of every one of our students. And I have said this before, our students' needs have become more complex, have become present earlier, and have lasted longer. We are getting less and less federal revenue. The House Ways and Means budget came out from the State House on Monday. Minimal increases in line items like regional transportation, a couple of $1 million, maybe 1 or 2% increase. Circuit breaker, $4 million for the entire state. Chapter 70, they recommended $30 per student instead of $20. That's an additional $17,500 for our district. These numbers are not nearly enough to meet the requirements of educating students in 2017 and 18. And that fact is well documented and no one disagrees with it. And unfortunately, it puts more and more pressure on the district, and it puts a lot more pressure on our towns to try and make up the difference. Again, I want to apologize for my mistake on the numbers on the town's contributions, the exclusionary and the supplemental, but the bottom line number does not change. They were understated by about 100,000 and overstated by about 100,000. The bottom line number does not change. That 2.5% increase is barely enough to maintain what we have accomplished over the last 3 years. But it also will not give us any additional technology that we are desperate for, because now our assessments must become computer-based testing. It will not give us the curriculum increases that we need, especially around implementing the science standards for K-8, and it puts us further behind as a competitive advantage for why students should stay here at BMRSD. And Mr. Dudek was over at the middle school today, our high school principal, explaining what great things happen at our high school. And I know Mr. Keefe and Brittany would certainly agree. But in order to continue to move forward, a 2.5% increase is the bare minimum. That is not a negotiable number. That is what we need to move forward. So that is my budget update. Thank you very much, and
Thank you very much.
look forward to it.
I think it's very important to state that our students need this budget. And so, yes, we're asking a lot of our towns, but we're also asking a lot of those citizens in those towns to come out and support this budget for these students, because we need the budget that we submitted to the towns. We need those dollars, and we need the community members to come out and support that. So hopefully, at the town meetings, they will. Is that it?
That's it.
Okay.
Thank you.
School committee forum. When do you want to start, since
I have
nothing?
nothing,
Okay.
thank you.
Tara?
I have a question on the vans, the school vans. Are those only for, like, the special ed students or certain things, or can, like, clubs use them?
I believe in the past, the red van has been used
Okay.
for some clubs, but we definitely discourage that because of liability and insurance.
Okay.
But they are primarily for transportation of most students on IEPs.
Okay.
Special ed.
All right, just curious on how that worked. And this is very random. I don't know if it's even a good idea, but it's something that came to my mind. The high school, the bathrooms, like especially by the auditorium.
Yep.
Is there a way that like a private group or separate group could do a fundraiser to revamp those bathrooms? Would that be allowed if the funds, I just think they're terrible.
That has been brought by several groups that we should be able to upgrade those because that's what our visitors see.
Exactly.
And we are working on ways to do that without impacting the budget. But it is definitely a priority.
Okay.
Yes.
That's it.
Thank
Was
you.
that a yes, and can it be a fundraiser?
It can be, but I think we can do it and
I don't. I would definitely need to.
and improve both of those restrooms.
Yeah.
Yes.
Karen?
I just wanted to thank everybody for giving me the opportunity to be here, and I'm looking forward to participating.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
And,
Yes, your turn.
just a safe night for everyone attending prom tomorrow, and great April vacation, safe travels if anyone is heading out. And we'll see you back after break. And that's all I have.
Thank you. I again would like to thank you guys for giving me this opportunity. It will hopefully be an interesting year. For those of you that are new, welcome again. As part of being on a school committee, it is a state law requirement that you attend a training session. It's called Charting the Course, and we'll get you more information on it. And it also is available to anybody who's been on the committee for a while and would like to refresh. And one of the things that we will do, it's offered around the state, but I will make a phone call this week and maybe see if we can get it offered here and invite others to come and maybe pick a date to do that. We will also start thinking about committees that people would like to see us focus on for the upcoming year and that you might want to serve on, or issues that you think we need to address in the upcoming year. But I look forward to it, and I think it's a group ready to go.
Just want to say welcome to the new committee members,
Thank you.
and that's it. That's all I have.
I want to thank my family and friends for supporting me and the constituents who voted for me. I know there were a lot of people to vote for in Blackstone, so it warms my heart that I was able to win that race by such a large majority, and I look forward to working with all of you for the next 4 years.
Welcome.
So, thank you for having me join this. I just look forward to trying to make a difference for the students here in Blackstone. As a teacher in another district, I sort of have a couple of views of how things go and what we could do and how to get there. So I'm looking forward to it.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. Our next meeting is Thursday, April 27th. And again, we will start a discussion on committees at that point, but if anybody else has anything that they'd like to see on that agenda, please let me know, or Alan. We'll have it on the agenda for the meeting at the 27th. At this point, I'd like to entertain a motion to adjourn to executive session, and we will adjourn the meeting from executive session. So, is there a motion to go into?
Discussion.
Oh, for discussion of union and non-union benefits. So moved. I know it has to be a roll
Second.
call, but we have to have the motion, right?
Second. First, second.
Okay. It was moved by Tara and seconded by Wendy to move into executive session for discussion of union and non-union benefits. We need to do this by roll call. So, Wendy?
Yes.
Tara?
Yes.
Karen?
Yes.
Aaron?
Yes.
Jane, yes?
Yes.
Georgette? Jack?
Yes.
Yes.
Tammy? Yes. Okay.
Executive session.
So we will now adjourn to executive session.
Did you always have that yellow jacket, or did you just